And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight this morning we're reacting to CF Cruz Azul versus CR Flamengo in the FIFA Derby of the Americas 2025. The winner of this game will play Pyramids in the Challenger Cup on Saturday morning, midday, early afternoon, whatever you want to call it. The loser goes home. The winner of the Pyramids versus the winner of this match, Challenger Cup, goes to play PSG. So there's a 33.3% chance that the winner of this game plays PSG. Is there a delay on this tournament? No, it should be starting any minute now. It's on beIN Sports, if that's your question. The game's on beIN Sports, if that's your question. Because I guess it's a Brazilian team, that's why. beIN Sports sub-licensed the rights. They also have the rights to the Arab Cup. So basically, at this point, everything that I'm doing for the rest of the season besides Liga MX and that Patriots game on Sunday is on beIN Sports. Tomorrow's TUDNA, Sunday. Saturday, beIN Sports. Sunday is CBS. Ooh. Well, you'd hope so. You would hope so. With that being said, teams will walk out very soon, and the winner gets the Derby of the Americas trophy. The loser goes home. And teams are walking out. Cruz Azul wearing their blue kits for the tournament. Flamengo wearing their white with black and red sleeves. CF Cruz Azul contra CR Flamengo en la FIFA Derby de las Americas. Starting 11s are as follows. We have, hold on, teams are going to walk out very soon. The Libertadores champion versus the CONCACAF champion. What's your prediction? I had Flamengo winning this game. Flamengo 2-1. I hope I'm wrong. Starting 11 for Cruz Azul. In goal, we have Andres Godinho. The back three of Gonzalo Piovi, Eric Lira, Willardita. The midfield four of Carlos Rotondi, Charlie Rodriguez. We have Jeremy Marquez and Jorge Sanchez. The midfield attacking two of Ignacio Rivero and Jose Paradella. And up top, we have Gabriel Fernandez. For Flamengo, in goal, we have Agustin Rossi. The back four of Guillermo Varela. We have Leo Ortiz, we have Leo Pereira, and Alexandro. The midfield two of Eric Pulgar and Jorginho. The attacking midfield three of Jorge Carrascal, Georgian de Arrasqueta, Samuel Lino, and up top, Bruno Henrique. Teams have walked out. Do they have a pocket on their freaking jacket? What? That's weird. Can Larcamon get some redemption in this tournament? He took Leon to the Mini Club World Cup and got bodied by an Asian team. We were live for that game when they played at Ottawa. Will Larcamon make himself look better this time? I hope to God it doesn't. Probably it will. Knowing FIFA and the bullshit that Infantino pulls, I hope they don't. I think 32 is perfect for a Club World Cup. Any more, I don't, unlike a National World Cup, which we'll see how it looks for 2026, I don't think, I really don't think 48 teams make sense for a Club World Cup. I really don't. But then again, more money, right? That's all that matters, right? I don't think it makes as much money as an international 48-team World Cup, though. Starting 11, Gudinho, Piovi, Lira, Dita, Rotondi, Rivero, Marquez, Sanchez, Rodriguez, Fernandez, Paradella under Larcamon for Cruz Azul. The winner of this game will play Pyramids on Saturday. The loser goes home. Then the winner of the Saturday game goes on and plays PSG. Matej Bogic on the bench. Sepulveda on the bench. Romero on the bench. That's interesting. With that being said, tonight, no, there will be no G League coverage because the Toronto Raptors lost last night. So no NBA G League coverage tonight. No NBA Cup coverage on Saturday or Tuesday. Glenn Nyberg, the center ref from Sweden. Have a UEFA center ref today. What in the world's wrong with Chelsea? I don't know, and I don't care, really. How we doing? Is this... I don't know at this point. They're taking a picture in front of the trophy. Is this Pepsi or whatever? VAR referee, Fadai San from Switzerland. So all UEFA crew. How we doing, Rory? I don't know what's wrong with Chelsea. I don't give a shit. I really could care less. World champions. I could care less. CR Flamengo. Rossi, Sandro, Pereira, Ortiz, Varela, Jorginho, Pulgar, Lino, Darasqueta, Carrascal, Bruno Henrique. Do you think Jake Paul's losing to Anthony Joshua? If the fight is real, yeah. If the fight's not rigged, yeah. Anthony Joshua is a world heavyweight champion boxer. Jake Paul's a fraud. If Luis Arujo, is that the one who played for Atlanta? Danilo on the bench. The man who got him there is on the bench. That's kind of unfair. Luis Arujo. Let's see. Is that the one who played for Atlanta? Yes, it was. Luis Arujo. He went from Atlanta to Flamengo. Yep, it's the one who played for Atlanta. 13 goals in MLS. Or for Atlanta. I was like, that name sounds familiar. It's been a while. I was like, that name sounds familiar. It's been a while. I thought it's been a while. Hello, old friend. And we're off. I don't know. I love when that happens, you know? I love when that happens. When a CONCACAF team plays a random team from somewhere else in the world and there's a former MLS player playing on the other team. And it's like, oh, I forgot about that. Not like it's obvious. So more like South American doesn't really succeed in CONCACAF, goes back to South America. You know, that type of thing. Like, I don't know, Jefferson Soteldo playing for Fluminense at the Club World Cup. That was... Turns out he was a scapegoat, too. Either way, goal kick for Gudinho. Like, no. When it's an American player or Canadian player going to Europe, okay, no, that's always going to be remembered. Like, that's not going to be forgotten. Why? Because Football Americas. I haven't watched that in a couple of weeks, I'll be real, because I've been watching all the old streams and stuff to make the best of reels and all that. But either way. Football Americas, yeah. Like, we ain't going to forget there's an American in Europe. Or Canadian, for that matter. Or even a Mexican player. Playing forward. Like, Genoa's going to play a CONCACAF team, but either way. Did the Colts just sign Phillip Rivers? Yeah. I understand why they did it, though. They're desperate. They're fraudulent and desperate. They lost. Honestly, though, I'd still say a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers is probably a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. frankly. I'm going to be real about that. I heard they called Andrew Luck. I heard they tried to get Andrew Luck to come out of retirement. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but I believe it. Advantage play, Cruz Azul. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but I believe it. 0-0, 0-0, Flamengo. Can Cruz Azul, as the CONCACAF champions, do what Pachuca did to Botafogo last year? Which we enjoyed that game. I'd love it. Like, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Flamengo loses. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know if I will be. I picked Flamengo to win because I'm not dumb or biased. Well, at least not for Cruz Azul. Do I want Cruz Azul to win? Yeah. Do I think, am I going to pick them to win just because CONCACAF? No. I think the circumstances favored Pachuca, weirdly enough. I think the circumstances favored Pachuca last year, weirdly enough. Yep, yeah, your Pepsi orange. Yeah. I mean, I understand it. You wanted Vancouver to win the final because you didn't want Cruz Azul to equal you on Champions Cups. And I wanted Vancouver to lose because I don't want a Canadian team to win the Champions Cup before Toronto does it. And if they don't call the Pirate, it'll take 30 years. They'll probably be jumped before they do. But, well, Vancouver has a chance next year. I hope to God they don't. Like, in theory, yes, Liga MX should lose the Champions Cup next year because of the fact the best Liga MX players are going to be in a camp for the national team to prepare for the World Cup during the semifinal and final of the Champions Cup. So, Liga could be weird too. Let's not forget that. Liga could go off the rails too. If there's some teams that don't deserve to be there, we could have a weird Liga champion as well. Basically, if you're a Liga MX team, you better hope to hell that your international players are really damn good. AKA, well, if you're Chivas, you're screwed. AKA, if you're Chivas, you're screwed. At least they didn't make Champs Cup, though. Oh, yeah, they did lose to Cruz Azul, didn't they? Yeah. Ormiga is a good player, though. It's on beIN Sports. Probably because there's a Brazilian team, so beIN Sports sub-licensed the rights like they did last year. Just like the Arab Cup final will be on beIN Sports. The Intercontinental Cup's like the old Club World Cup. It's the small Club World Cup, the rebranding and the small and reformatting of the small Club World Cup. The CONCACAF champions playing the CONMEBOL champion for the right to play Pyramids on Saturday. The Egyptian or the African champion, the Egyptian club that is the African champion this year, who beat Al Ahly and Auckland City. Auckland City, then Al Ahly, Saudi. They might have beat the Egyptian one on their way to the CAF Champions League, but I ain't going to check that. But the Saudi won in this tournament to win the African Asian Pacific Cup. They moved on to Saturday to play the winner of this game, who the winner of that Challenger Cup will play PSG on the 18th. Or is it 17th? Wednesday, yes. Wednesday, then Thursday. That would be the 17th. Then the 18th is the Arab Cup. All right, there we go. Okay, so if the team who wins this game beats Pyramids, yeah, they'll play PSG. They got to win 2 games. or advance. And the winner of this game gets a trophy. It's on FOTMob, though. You can find it on FOTMob. That's what I have. My FOTMob works for this game. They have this, but not the Caribbean Cup. You're crazy. Speaking of, look at that little countdown clock in the corner of the BN Sports stream. 12 days till the season finale of RSR 7. Because we're doing the Morocco-Comoros opening game of the African Cup of Nations. And that's what the season finale will be. Thanks, Sun for badgering me into doing it. Well, it's not. Well, he's not wrong. He's looking out for me. I won't lie. I'm a stubborn jackass. Sun was looking out for me. What I call badgering is him looking out for me. But I listened. And I have a Morocco jersey, so, you know, might as well get use out of it before June, you know, and the World Cup, you know, so. You know what? I think Australia's right. I think they're right because, let me tell you, there are positives. Like, there are positives about being on social media that young. If you use it right. But not many people use it right. Now, I can't turn around and say, being on social media for 11 years, since I was in junior high, grade 7, the end of my grade 7 year, it did positive things for me. It helped me meet people that mean a lot to me, that I should have been more serious with longer than just either way. So it can do positive things for you, but in most cases, you get on that young. Worst case scenario, you do some really dumb shit. Worst case scenario, you do some really dumb shit. Even if you don't get bullied or it doesn't ruin your self-esteem or whatever. Worst case scenario, you do some really dumb shit because you're desensitized or you don't grow up quick enough. Point is, I agree with Australia. In the macro, I agree with Australia. I think them banning social media for people under 16, most people don't need to be on Instagram or X or anything but maybe YouTube and Twitch. Well, I'd say more watching than anything, but yeah, no, I don't think most people need to be on social media at 16, at 14, 15, or 16. I think 13, when it comes to social media, is a little bit too low of a. I don't think people have the informed consent to use it correctly at that age. And I think you got to be smarter to not do dumb shit that somebody can come back and get you with later on. Unless you're media trained, which I would assume that a lot of people who have social media at that age are not media trained. I would assume so. Which leads to you doing reckless shit. Which leads to you, either way, if you're media trained or a celebrity, if you don't want to, I understand you shouldn't, but really. It could be. Point is, there's less positives to it. Point is, social media at a young age, growing up with it, there's less positives. There's less positives to it having it that early. There can be positives. There's also a lot of negatives to it. So, yeah, do with that what you will. I think Australia's right. Overall, I don't disagree. Shot wide. I don't disagree. Whenever I have kids, I certainly, like, they can watch YouTube. I'm not going to be one of those parents that make my kids accounts for them to grow up with. I'm not going to be one of those parents, even if I do have a reality show somehow. I'm not going to do that. I'd be more likely to make my dog's Instagram accounts than my kids. See, nobody complains about that. Either way, point is, I mean, I have a lot of problems with the family account shit. I really do, in general. And then you just, and even then, like, if your kids have accounts young, you got to keep an eye on it just to make sure they don't do no dumb shit. Probably for longer than you think. And Flamengo just got a giveaway. Arrascaeta with a goal. And it's 1-0 for Flamengo. Horrible giveaway for Cruz Azul. Like, Chivas got knocked out by Chicharito by missing a penalty in Charlie Rodriguez. Yep. Horrible giveaway. Jorjan de Arrascaeta. So, the point is, I agree. Notre Dame shouldn't have to join a conference. So, Lamau. That's a hat flick, but I'm not even going to look for the highlights. Jorjan de Arrascaeta scores. What the hell were they doing? Godinho rolls it, and he just passed it right to Jorjan de Arrascaeta. And yeah, I don't think Cruz Azul's going to. No way. 0-1. Horrible. So, all things considered. Yep, that's a bad one. 15th minute. 0-1, 0-1. So basically my point being is this. Horrible giveaway. Horrible giveaway. I don't. Zero sugar Oreo? What the hell's wrong with y'all? Who wants that? Speaking of Instagram, who the hell wants a zero sugar Oreo? The fuck? How the hell speaking of, how do you make the filling? It pretty much is frosting. How would you even, Jesus Christ, head it away. Huh? Like, it's frosting. The stuff in Oreo is frosting. You can't make that without sugar. What the hell? What world are we living in? Oh my God. what's dumber, the goal that Cruz Azul gave up, or double stuff, or zero sugar Oreos. I don't know what's dumber. I don't know what's dumber. I don't know what's dumber. Zero sugar Oreos or Cruz Azul giving up the goal they gave up? I'd say they're both pretty damn dumb. Playing forward. Either way. No, I agree with Australia. Overall, I agree. Wide. We need to see Cruz Azul bounce back. Rotondi. Goal kick. This is crazy, man. Playing forward. Over the top. He lost the ball anyway, but damn it. I was like, oh, he might. Nope. Flamengo freaking Cruz Azul, man. Nope, this ain't their night. I'm going to be totally real. This ain't their night. This ain't their night. No. No. Well, it's night over there. That's true. Either way. Flamengo are just better. You can't give away a goal like that. It's impossible. Here's the thing. You cannot give away a goal like Cruz Azul did and want to win a knockout game. You can't do it. I don't care who the hell you are. Frankly, I don't. Either way. So we got 21st minute, 0-1. Cruz Azul just doesn't have it tonight. Who could ever predict the frauds of Cruz Azul are losing? Well, I mean, well, Maybe they'd be winning with Vicente Sanchez. I don't know. Hey, at least they're in the big Club World Cup in 3 years. Well, no. 26, 27, 28, 29. 4 years. 3.5 years. Oh, no. Depends on where they host it. Could be 4 full years. Could be 3. I don't freaking know. I'd presume. You know what I think they should do? Oh, yeah, the 2020, the 2030 World Cups. The South America should host. I know it's 2029. I'm talking about. I was confused with the Saudi Arabia one. Morocco hosts the Club World Cup or South America hosts the Club World Cup? Because God knows it'll come back to the U.S. for 2033. Because there's no damn way the clubs would let their seasons be stopped. The clubs would let their seasons be stopped in December to do a Club World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So I feel like 2033 would be a U.S.-hosted Club World Cup with an Arab Cup in Saudi Arabia for their kickoff event or whatever the hell. Playing forward. That's a free kick for Cruz Azul, but advantage played. Ball crossed in. Probably should have just taken the free kick. And a foul free kick for Flamengo. Yeah, I really should have just taken the free kick. Yeah, idiots. You know what? You know what? Yeah, I think Flamengo's just better off. Playing forward. '25th minute corner. Ball crossed in. Header cleared away. So it looks like we'll have a CONMEBOL team. Well, I don't know. It's not over yet. We're not even close to halfway. Right now, it looks like a CONMEBOL team will win their first Derby of the Americas. I guess Pachuca was a fluke. Free kick, Marquez down for Cruz Azul. Maybe Botafogo was just absolutely burnt out compared to Flamengo. It's funny. I don't know. playing forward. Pachuca was a good team, and Flamengo was better than Botafogo. Well, let's put it like this. Pachuca had a good manager at the time with a good team on paper who had won the Champions Cup and had a horrible Apertura season. Flamengo's better than Botafogo. Yeah. But Cruz Azul on paper still has a good team. I think burnout had a lot to do with it because Botafogo did everything to prove people wrong after they bottled the league horribly. So they won Libertadores and won the league. They did somewhat well at the Club World Cup, too, beating PSG. Here comes Cruz Azul. And they lost the ball. Free kick the other way. Jesus Christ, they are sloppy right now. God, they are sloppy right now. Champs Cup is back. Everybody's hyped in Trinidad. Y'all are getting Ty Baribo and Indiana Vassilev, and y'all are hyped. I know you're back, but we're hyped about Ty Baribo. We're hyped about Ty freaking Baribo. Okay. I wouldn't be hyped about it, but that's just me. Well, I'd be hyped about being back, but being like, oh, we're going to see Ty Baribo. It's the Philadelphia Union. 29th minute. Yeah, it's an MLS team, but it's the Philadelphia Union. The only reason they get talked about is because they play well. Nobody gives a shit about who's on the team. They're a glorified small market club. Well, yeah, you could own Andre Blake again. Yeah, I guess Trinidadians would love that because he is Jamaican. Fair enough. Okay, y'all see Andre Blake for the second time in 4 months. Honestly, yeah, Andre Blake is the face of that team, yeah. But you're playing a glorified small market club who plays money ball and somehow wins. Also, the team who plays the victim card all the time when they lose. Do you remember the NYCFC Philadelphia 2021 Eastern Conference Final? Do you remember that? Philadelphia Union played the victim card so hard after that game. It's crazy. It's called Don't Get COVID. I told you I'm only doing the Arab Cup final. I'm only doing the Arab Cup final. If Morocco makes it. I'll be doing the AFCON final or the AFCON opener and the Arab Cup final. I know you're looking out for me more than badgering me, but I'm the stubborn jackass here, so be glad I changed my mind twice. Be glad I listened twice out of 3. Only the final. If it was their best team, I'd do it. If it was Morocco's best team against Algeria's best, I would do it, but it's not. I do both, but it's not because the AFCON starts 2 days later after the final. But then you did 2 U20 games. What was the U20 World Cup and the Olympics? There's a difference. Either way, playing forward. And the USA was also playing them. CONCACAF's dotted connection there. If LA if Philly advances, they play Club America, possibly a rematch of 2021 where America beat Union in 2 legs, went on to lose CCL final against Monterrey in BBVA where we got scored on by Funes Mori. Oh, yeah, you did. And then there was that penalty call that took like 10 minutes to decide at the end of the game, and then the final whistle blew after there was no penalty. Ay, ay, ay. For America. Oh, man, that was... If it was the Liga MX game, there would have been a penalty because we all know how that shit runs. That was the first time the Hamburglar almost showed up in CONCACAF play. Luckily, no. Man, that ending was hilarious. Playing forward. And that's the reason why you didn't make the Club World Cup. And in the end, guess what? You know why you didn't make the Club World Cup? Because you didn't get that penalty. Playing forward. Well, it would have been extra time. Yeah, Monterrey were run ragged at that point. I'm going to be real. Monterrey would not have survived an extra time in that game. They would not have. I remember it like it was yesterday. They would not have survived an extra time in that game. They got lucky there was no penalty. They would not have survived an extra time. Playing forward. They would not have survived an extra time. And I don't think they would have won in penalties either. I think America would have had the better shootout group. So either way, I think... I know. Point is, if Morocco makes the Arab Cup final, you get that and the AFCON opener. Be glad I'm open enough to change my mind there. Be glad you're getting those two, or at least one of those two, if not both. I could have just said, no, I'm finishing with the Intercontinental Cup final and tough shit. But at least I realized you're looking out for me a little bit. Or you are looking out for me. But playing forward. I just hope there's no extra time in the Arab Cup final. I can do it, then I have to go basically get my hair cut right after. I hope there's no extra time in the Arab Cup final. The way Morocco's playing, probably not. My luck, though. If you see me sweating during the Arab Cup final, just know I cannot bear extra time. Because if there is extra time, I ain't going to be able to continue streaming. Because, let's just say when I got my haircut appointment made, I didn't get double checked with until it was made. So, luckily enough, the Arab Cup final starts at like 11 a.m. So it's like, or something like that. So, and my haircut's like at 2:30. So, something like that. Or was it 12? Either way, there's enough time for me to do the final. Playing forward. As long as there's no extra time. And maybe I'll try to at least get the review. I don't know. Try to quickly make the review and get it up at least on YouTube before I leave. I can't really pussyfoot around in that case. Either way. But I will be live for the first 90 minutes of the Arab Cup final if Morocco makes it. Anything more, God only knows. Ogden's in Qatar, you watch Morocco versus Saudi. Because I don't know. I didn't watch the game. Inter Milan are a bunch of frauds. They lost to an out-of-form Liverpool. Put your heads back down, you bums. That sucks. But then again, Chelsea lost to Atalanta, so anybody could win the Champions League, right? I'm not mad about it at all. Playing forward, Cruz Azul. So basically, Arab Cup final, if Morocco makes it, no worries if they don't make it, because if they don't, I don't give a shit. Playing forward. Why isn't Liverpool using Salah? Because he's getting old. His legs are gone. Playing shot. Blocked away. Words dive, bro, but Bastoni pulled his shirt. It was not a pen. Shirt pull and going down. Most of the time, that's going to be called a penalty, even if it's not. Hate to tell you. Tackle, that's a free kick the other way for Flamengo. Damn, Cruz Azul are just absolutely not. They ain't got it, boys. Speaking of extra time, if this game's tied after 90, we go to extra time in this game. Well, that is true, actually. Morocco versus Palestine Dream Arab Cup final. I agree, actually. Palestine in a final against Morocco. C team, but, you know, whatever. Moroccans don't care. They'll root for them, and they'll watch. Either way, I'll be happy either way. Morocco wins. I'm sure that review will get numbers. If Palestine wins, Palestine deserves to win something, you know? So I'm happy either way in that case. I'm happy either way in that case. 39th minute. The manager put in Tosin just for Tosin to give away another goal. Well, I know that. We could have played that Club World Cup, how we won the CCL in 21. It would have been all yellow against River, Red Diamonds, and Inter Milan. They all would have sold out. Didn't Monterrey sell out those games too? Like, any Mexican team's going to sell out those games. Didn't they play some of them in L.A.? Acting like it wasn't a Mexican team who played them anyway. I could have sworn those games were sold out anyway. Yeah, I agree with that. Why does the manager keep putting him on if he's going to make mistakes every single time? Why can't he learn not to put him on? Ask Mareshka that. I can't answer. Would I put on a player who keeps making mistakes? No, I'm not a dumbass. But, it also doesn't help that Colwell blew out his damn knee. That doesn't help. Sometimes you got to take players, you got to give players minutes. If I barely watch the game, so how can I answer? So, like, I can answer anything if I watch the game complete. I have a horrible, yeah, true, I have a horrible sleep schedule, though. But you're up at 11 a.m. watching this game. Yeah, is a CONCACAF team playing? All right. I'm no early bird. Unless I have to be. And if I have to be for a long time in a row, I'm burnt out like a mug. Playing forward. Header. Goal! Cruz Azul ties it up. What a header. He's offside. Ah, hell. Oh, the watch says goal. Let me check that. Oh, no. Cruz Azul just got jobbed. Hold on. Let's see Let's see. I mean, by the time it was kicked, I mean, he was onside. I think it should be a goal. Goal kick. And it's not a goal. Cruz Azul. Offside. That's true. Well, Cruz Azul just got jobbed. They finally got a goal and they got jobbed. Well, FIFA does have that either way. Playing forward. Playing forward. Cruz Azul loses the ball. Paradella. Here's Cruz Azul. Loses the ball. Shot. Goal! You can't take that one away. 1-1. Cruz Azul. Uno. That was a horrible. What's with the mistakes? Jesus Lord. And then they say they don't make mistakes in South America. Did they just let Jorge Sanchez score on him? No way. No way they didn't. No way. Oh, shit, they did. Oh, shit, they did. No. No, you didn't. You let Jorge Sanchez score on you. Oh, my God. You suck. Jorge Sanchez. That's an amazing goal, though. I didn't know he had that in his pocket. Oh, my God. You just let Jorge Sanchez score on you, you idiots. Dumb. Jorge Sanchez ties it up. How do you let that happen? '44th minute, 1-1, uno. Two minutes of stoppage time. You let Jorge Sanchez score on you. I thought you were an amazing club. I think Cruz Azul's woken up. It's like, oh, you're going to screw us. Okay, no. We're going to win this game now. Free kick the other way with a minute to go. I swear Flamengo loses to Cruz Azul. I better not hear, oh, we're tired, dude. It's not fair. Hey, you know what? If you're Botafogo, that is a correct. Botafogo at least was able to use that excuse with no problem, in my book. Flamengo? Okay. Y'all beat Chelsea, 6 months ago? Yeah, sure. Yeah, y'all beat Chelsea 6 months ago. You can't say you're tired. You can't do that. I guess not every team in blue could beat. Header. Oh, shit. Blocked. Good block. You beat Chelsea, got scored on by Jorge Sanchez. Exactly. What a weird sport, man. The ball's round, I guess. And it's halftime. Halftime, it is 1-1. I will take that. Cruz Azul are tied 1-1. Uno, miro tiempo. Uno, miro tiempo. 1-1. What a shot by Sanchez. If they lose, I'm doing a hat flick. Well, I don't know. If they win, I don't know. We probably won't. But that Orasqueta goal was idiotic. I think Cruz Azul finally woke up, but we'll see what happens over the next 45 minutes. The last 10 minutes, Cruz Azul been the better team. Let's be real. Over the last 10 or so minutes, they've been the better team. I didn't say the whole time. They were absolutely fraudulent for 35 minutes. They were absolutely just asleep at the wheel for 35 minutes. But for the past 10 minutes, 12, they've been the better team. Most of the half, it's been Flamengo, though. But those last 12 minutes were all Cruz Azul. If they could... Yes, it is. Yay. I think in March they're going to have it. It's either that or June. Pre-World Cup. Yay, we're going to play for a fake trophy. Yay. Again. Then again, we have no chance of winning the World Cup, so it's not like this year where... Either way, if Flamengo loses, what's the point about bragging about the Libertadores? Whoever wins should beat Pyramids. You say that, but then again, Pachuca beat Al-Ali on penalties. Pyramids is not Al-Ali, but you say that, and that's when you lose. You say that shit, that's when you lose a game. Never, don't disrespect them. They're not Al-Ali. That's true. But again, you say some shit like that, that's when you lose. When I'm the one who knows how to jinx teams, I mean, come on now. You want me to jinx Pyramids, don't you? Do you want me to jinx Pyramids? I have no idea. LAFC could have beaten Flamengo. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight, be back. 1-1 at the half. Uno, miro tiempo. Cruz Azul really played like shit for 30 minutes and then saved their game in 10. Either way, sit tight, be back. We're back for the stats at the half. All right. What we got? We got 54% possession to 46% possession, 4 shots to 4, 1 shot on goal to 1, 228 accurate passes, 86% to 196, 84%. We have 8 fouls to 9, 0 corners to 1, 4 shots to 4, 1 shot on goal to 1. We have 264 passes, 233 passes, 86% pass accuracy to 84. 6 throws to 5, 1 offside to 0, 1 yellow card to 0, 0 red cards to 0. We have 1-1 at the half, uno medio tiempo. For me, oh shit, well, that's perfect timing. Came back right at the end of the half. I spent freaking 10 minutes up there, Jesus Christ. All right, first 30 minutes, Flamengo were the better team. Last 10, last 12 with a stoppage time, Cruz Azul were the better team. I think a draw is the rightful result after 45 minutes. We'll see what happens over these next 45 and possible extra time. Substitution. Samuel Lino is off for Gonzalo Plata. Yes. All right. Yep. 45 more minutes. Can Cruz Azul find a way to win? Cruz Azul to kick off the second half. Will they come out the better team? I hope they do, frankly. And we're off. Played forward. Flamengo has it at the back. Playing forward. Cruz Azul. Here's a chance. They play it forward. Here's a chance. Shot, save. Save in a corner for Cruz Azul, but that was a really good chance that they really needed to score. What? Pete Alonso to the Baltimore Orioles. Wow. Is there a chance the CPL team goes to round 16? Ottawa could easily beat Nashville. I think there's a very good likelihood of that. I think Forge could beat Tigres. I didn't say it was likely, but it's possible. I'd say Ottawa's the most likely, then Forge, then Vancouver FC. Or I should say Ottawa, small gap, Forge, big gap, cavernous gap, Vancouver FC. Vancouver FC is going to get killed. I think Tigres at some point, they got to fall apart. I think Forge can beat them if things go completely right over 2 weeks and their form is absolutely ass for the first 2 months of 2026. As in Tigres' form, Forge can get it done. But Ottawa, Nashville, that's an absolute winnable match for Ottawa. That's an absolutely winnable match. So I'd say Ottawa has the best chance, but Forge is close, but we'll see. Somebody could pull a Calvary. What, lol? Are you laughing at me, Rory, or are you laughing at them? Because I'm being serious. I think Forge could beat Tigres if everything goes correctly, perfectly. They keep relying on devil magic. At some point, that's got to run out. Ask the Cardinals. Ask the St. Louis Cardinals. Devil magic runs out at some point. If Forge plays their best, if Tigres' form is absolute shit for January and February, about Pete Alonso going to Baltimore. Okay, yeah, it's true, actually. Jeff Passan. Header. Shot. Save. Free kick for Flamengo. 5-year, $155 million contract for Pete Alonso to Baltimore. From Jeff Passan saying it. They've checked it. They checked it on VAR, seeing if there was a possible penalty. That'll be a goal kick. Cruz Azul are looking so much better after the first. Yeah, Cruz Azul's taking their momentum into the second half. You cannot give up a goal late. Let me tell you, if you give up a goal late in the first half, that just flips the momentum. Semifinalists in the CONCACAF League in 2022. Shot save. For 2021, 2021 CONCACAF League semifinalists. Big comeback over Santos Awapoles. They've won multiple ties in the CONCACAF League against Central American teams over the 3 times they were there. They did lose to Arcaí on penalties that one time. They've made multiple CONCACAF Champions Leagues. They made a Champions League before the expansion. Free kick for Flamengo. Semifinal, who they face. They didn't beat anybody worth, CB5. No, they didn't beat any MLS Liga MX teams. The CONCACAF League didn't have that at the time. It was basically the Central American Cup with Caribbean and Canadian teams added. And no group stage. They lost to Motagua in the semifinal. They've won 4 Canadian Premier League trophies. And Canadian Premier League shields, like 3. Played over the top. Header. Out for a corner. Sanchez, 51st minute. Okay, fair enough. So that's what I've been saying for ages. If Central American teams can pull an odd upset against the Liga MX and MLS team, why couldn't Forge? Especially against Tigres. Tigres are beatable, but they're in the Liga MX final. They rely on devil magic. At some point, it's all got to fall apart. If they start chilly, Forge could beat them. Yes, Tigres have to be down in the dumps in February to make sure that works out. And if you're Forge, you probably want the early tie, which they've played the first 2 weeks of February both times in this new format. I don't know if that would change. If you're Forge, you probably want it to be the first 2 weeks of February, because if Tigres have a shitty 4-week of 2026 January start, a shitty January, it's a lot easier to build off that than them having a 6-week shitty start instead of 4. Who's the Costa Rican team that beat Kobe Henry? Forge could pull that. Herediano beat RSL. See? Exactly. Forge can do it. Tigres is being coached by Guido Pizarro. Exactly. It's not like they have that good of a coach. Bobby Smirniotis could out-tactic Guido Pizarro for sure. Forge is the better coach in that situation. I don't care. That's also a good point. Forge is the better manager of the 2 teams in that situation. Let's not forget this. Forge is the better manager of the 2. They do. Bobby Smirniotis is a better manager than Guido Pizarro. Simple. Man management and tactics. Bobby Smirniotis is the better manager. Let's just put that right there. Well, they were both in pot 2, so that wouldn't have happened. Ironically enough, I think Forge was the second highest team in pot 2. Third highest, I should say. Third highest. They were under Olympia and San Diego FC. That's pretty good for Forge, though. I mean, yeah. It'd be hard for them to jump Olympia. I wouldn't say hard for them to jump Olympia, but jumping San Diego, that would have been tough. I guarantee you San Diego was as low as they were because they had an amazing season. But they were an expansion team, so that probably doesn't help things. Cruz Azul playing forward. I could see Defense Force beating Vancouver easy. Which one? Langley or the Whitecaps? Are you talking about the CPL Vancouver FC? Yes, Defense Force could beat them. I believe that 100%. Bowl pot 2, though. If you talk about the Whitecaps, you're delusional. I'd love to see it, but you're delusional. CPL, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, you could beat Vancouver Langley easy. Easy. I mean, they were better. They were better in the second half of the season after they fired Goldby. But that is true. But they still got a lot of work to do. Do you see Molino rumor run? He looked like Messi versus Sabal. That is, yeah, he did. He did. Playing forward, free kick for Flamengo. 56th minute. Header cleared. Cruz Azul. What the hell? That was such a bull. That was such a dumb header. Huh. The Mets were not comfortable going to the lengths and money figures that ended up in Pete Alonso's deal with the Orioles. The 5 years, 140 million. 155 million. He turned down 7 years, 158 million. He ended up getting 7 years, 205 million. '57th minute. Molino did what he promised. He wanted Trinidad to play in the World Cup and the Champions Cup. He did one of the two. And I can't say that the first part was his fault. I can't say the first part was his fault, them not making the World Cup as in Trinidad. I can't say that was his fault. But either way, playing forward over the top. Oh, my. I think Cruz Azul looks like the slightly better team, but Flamengo still has their moments so far. Oh. He don't even call baseball anymore. Free kick. Joe Buck has won the Ford C. Frick Award. Legendary Announcer Award for the Baseball Hall of Fame. He doesn't even call baseball anymore. He's the reason we drew Jamaica. He still got it. That's true. Playing forward. Good tackle. Get it. Godinho caught it. Oh, Lord. Cruz Azul starting to do some dumb stuff again. Better team slightly. Dumb stuff, yes. Playing forward. This is a sloppy game. 59th minute. Cross in, blocked away. Sloppy game, yes. Dumb shit, also, yes. Blocked away. Header. Oh. He's going to be essential for this March upcoming versus Philadelphia Union. I say since Nathaniel James is out of contract and USL Defense Force should sign him up to pair with Molino and Bateau. Yeah, because if Philadelphia Union, because if you're playing a lot of local players against Philadelphia Union, you're going to rip your hair out. You're going to rip your hair out. Knowing how you acted when they were playing Cibao. You gonna rip your hair out. 1-1 tie. Cruz Azul has been better since like the 30th minute. They're still doing some dumb stuff, but either way, throw in for Cruz Azul. I'd say they're the better team since about the 30th minute. Flamengo were the better team for the first 30 minutes of the game. Second, third, Cruz Azul. We'll see what happens over the third, and if there is extra time. But right now, 1-1 draw. Fair result so far. Exactly. These local forwards are awful. Nathaniel James is a free agent at this moment. Sign him up. Playing over the top. Here comes Flamengo. Cross. High angle. Jorge Sanchez defending. Do you think penalty shootout for these two? I don't. Somebody's going to score before a penalty shootout, even if it's 120. I have a feeling somebody's going to score before, hell, 90 to be honest, but certainly 120. There's just so obviously going to be a goal. For who, I'm not sure, but somebody's going to score before 90. I think there's going to be a late winner, late-ish winner, honestly. Don't know who. Wouldn't shock me if it's either. I think somebody's getting a late winner. Caught, Gudinho. Do you think Flamengo? I predicted them to win the game before it started 2-1. That's still possible. Hopefully I'm wrong. Offside. Free kick for. '63rd minute header. Cruz Azul plays it, and they get it cleared. Had some really good moments in the first part of the second half to get a Sanchez foul, free kick. See Flamengo score through extra time. Any news on Sealy transfer rumors? I ain't heard a thing. So do with that what you will. Playing forward. Cruz Azul. Rotondi. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Imagine Flamengo gets eliminated by Charlie Rodriguez. Well, he hadn't done anything to say he did it. Now, if he scores the goal, well, you could say this game's been a comedy of errors. He got dropped on the ground and nobody says anything. Okay. He's probably 65th minute. Playing forward. Cleared out for a throw, 66th minute. He's being wasted in Montreal. Saliba has worse stats than Sealy's in Belgium balling. Substitution for Flamengo. 15. Carrascal is coming off for Everton. 66th minute. Hot take, but Kevin Meir being out is actually a net positive for this game. Honestly, you're not wrong. Gudinho hadn't done half bad. Now, of course, there was a dumbass. The goal against was a dumbass goal against, but that's more on the defense than Gudinho. Now, Meir would have given one up as well. Like, the thing about him is he's good for one dumbass goal. I wouldn't say every game, but every couple. He's good for one. If Kevin Meir were here, he'd get out of the goalpost already. Yeah, I think Gudinho's made some good saves that he wouldn't have made. And, I mean, Kevin Meir's a good goalie. I'm not saying he isn't, but he's known for – he's good for a dumbass goal allowed every so often. Not every game, but every 2 or 3. And God knows he's a ticking time bomb. And if it ain't this game, it would be the next. So him being injured, ironically enough, you're right. I'm going to agree. I'm not saying Gudinho's perfect. I'm not saying that he's serviceable backup. He's a serviceable backup. So, and he's doing well today. He's playing up to the level of the game. So, do that what you will. Now, of course, you could say, but they did give up a dumbass goal in this game. That one was on the defense. That one was on Rotondi. I think. Either way, that wasn't really on Gudinho. But if Kevin Meir's ticking time bomb hit Cruz Azul and proceeded to give away a goal, they would have been down 2-0, and that made shit totally different. So, or maybe he's the one who gives up the dumbass goal. Who knows? But it wasn't the goalie this time, is my point. If they lose, I could say, hey, oh shit. Oh no. Godinho got pressed to hell and back. He got it out, but we were just talking good about him and he almost screwed up. I am a jinx, am I? Holy shit, I am a jinx, am I? Okay. That was something. Playing forward. Shot over the bar. Flamengo are knocking at the door now. Seems to be the third of this game is Flamengo. Header. '71st minute. Header. '71st minute. Here's a shot, blocked away, chipped, and it's a goal. And it's a goal for Flamengo. Showing the watch. 2-1 Flamengo across the line. And they've been knocking on the door, and that's how they get it. 1-2, 1-2. Tried to get it, but frankly, Flamengo was knocking on the door all the way. Good block. Piovi or Rotondi. Dita Rotondi. He jumps. I don't know. Let's see. It says goal. Points at the watch. I think everybody wanted Cruz Azul to win this game, but whatever. 2-1. De Arrascaeta. Let's see. Not crossed the line completely. Like, there's no question about it. That crossed the line completely. That is a goal. De Arrascaeta gets a second goal. De Arrascaeta gets a second goal. Rotondi tries to clear it out. Wasn't meant to be. Fittingly enough, each third of the game has been a goal for the team who's been better. Romero is on for Paradella. 71st minute. 1-2, 1-2. '73rd minute. Playing forward. Let's be honest, that goal was a little bit of luck. Yeah, but there's something called, hey, you got to make your own luck. Sometimes you got to make your own luck, and they did. And frankly, they've been knocking at the door since about the 60th minute. First third was all Flamengo. Second third was all Cruz Azul. Third of the game was all Flamengo. Now, can Cruz Azul save their own ass, or will they be eliminated? We'll still be live for the Challenger Cup no matter who wins. Don't worry. We're still covering that game and then the Intercontinental Cup final no matter what. We're covering them both. Don't worry. No matter who wins. Saved. Let me go see. I think I've worn a different jersey/shirt for every game of this tournament. I know I'm wearing a suit for the final. Auckland versus Pyramids, I wore... Oh. Blue Jays gray. Al-Ali versus Pyramids. A green John Cena shirt. For the Saudi green. Cubs jersey for Cruz Azul. Brazil shirt if Flamengo advances for the semifinal, the Challenger Cup. Suit for the final. There'll be a different shirt every game. If Flamengo wins here, there'll be a different shirt every game. Dalasqueta with a goal kick. Cross punched away. 77th minute. Flamengo versus Pyramids. It'd be funny to see PSG lose to a Brazilian team twice in 1 year, though. That'd be hilarious. I don't know if it'll happen. It'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. Playing forward. Cruz Azul. Caught. Playing forward. '79th minute. Want so bad, I want Flamengo to be PSG. I just want Enrique to lose it again because it's been a while since we've seen another team not from Europe win the Club World Cup. I mean, the Brazilian teams did pretty good at the big Club World Cup this year, so it'd be funny if they kind of continued that trajectory in the Intercontinental Cup. It'd be kind of funny. Playing forward. It'd also be funny to see PSG lose both FIFA Showpiece finals in 1 year. It'd be funny as hell. It'd also be funny for that to happen. Like, Chelsea should probably not be wearing the World Champions patch. Won the Club World Cup final. They're wearing the World Champions patch. Flamengo, if they make the final, Pyramids have no shot in hell. It'd be awesome, but they have no shot in hell. Flamengo winning the Intercontinental Cup final, when they probably shouldn't, wearing the IC Champions patch for a year instead of PSG would be hilarious. PSG has neither. PSG has neither. When they thought they'd have both. 80th minute. Be hilarious. It would be absolutely hilarious. And Enrique might shave his head again. I don't know. He lost his damn mind after he lost to Chelsea. Should Alcabi stay at Olympiacos or go to Marseille? He scored and assisted versus Real Madrid. Marseille's better than Olympiacos. 2 subs for Flamengo as well. D'Arasqueta, 2 goals. Jorginho is coming off as well. Speaking of Chelsea. Luis Araujo coming on and De La Cruz coming on. Oh. '81st minute. Will you play Marseille over that guy from Gabon and the American striker? Well, Timothy Way is more of a winger. Wait, is he still at Marseille? I mean, Aubameyang is good, but he's not good. I mean, El Kabi's a different profile. Okay, that's disrespectful, but Aubameyang he's okay, but El Kabi is a different profile. He plays for Marseille. Winger or right back? Yeah, he's not a striker. Weah's a winger / right back. So that doesn't matter for El Kabi's sake. Over Aubameyang, I mean, it's a different look. If you want a more stronger target man type striker, El Kabi. You want somebody who's more of a finesse, who's kind of losing it with age, Aubameyang. So there you go. Cleared away, 83rd minute. Flamengo's trying to see the game out. Cruz Azul's trying to tie this game up. I don't think I'm going to get the clip for the hat flick. I don't think. But either way. Playing forward. Luis Araujo. Luis Araujo still has the ball. Luis Araujo saved. Out for a goal kick. Yep. He's a good player. I don't disagree. Luis Araujo. Ugh. I can see why. Yeah, I forgot. That's why he left Atlanta. What a run. Godinho came out far to make sure it didn't get catched or put in. You know what's funny? Phillip Rivers retired a Charger. Now he's playing again. Cross in. Headed away. Godinho deep in his own net. 84th minute. '84th minute. Probably a penalty. Morocco don't win AFCON this year. They never will. Well, I think they will. Jorge Sanchez. Did he punch the ball? What the? No penalty. Oh, well, I'm surprised. They didn't mark it. I'm surprised. He punched the damn ball. There's no way. Oh, no. Oh, don't get me started. Are you fucking kidding me? Pardon my French. So you can incidentally have your hands by your side and it hits your hand and that's a penalty. But if you punch the ball in the goal, it's not a penalty. Directly punch the fucking ball. And it's not a penalty. But just incidentally, it hits your hand while your hands are at your side. You know, that's a penalty. What bullshit is that? Like, what? What? No, you gotta agree that's bullshit. Either both are penalties or neither are. I'd be losing my shit. Pick a thing. That should have been a penalty. He punched the ball. Punched the ball out. Didn't Suarez get a freaking red card for that? Punch. You're telling me incidental contact's more of a handball than a freaking meant to punch? Intentional punch? This ain't even, these are FIFA referees. These are European referees. And that's not a penalty? If it was pro, I'd be like, okay. Do you think the score is fair? Yeah. Flamengo got their first goal the first 30 minutes that they dominated. Cruz Azul got their equalizing goal in the 30 minutes they dominated. Flamengo got the leading goal in the 30 minutes they dominated. Fair score, yes. Frankly, it should be 3-1 because that should have been a penalty. But other than that, from open play, mistake, banger, luck. Should have been a penalty. Either way. Flamengo, the true world champion since they beat Chelsea. If they beat PSG, I might listen. It's not lineal, but if Flamengo beat PSG as well, who Chelsea beat, and PSG does not have a title badge on their jersey, either or, I'll listen to your argument. I think what we do need is, you know what? Screw it. Send Chelsea to Qatar. If Flamengo wins the Intercontinental Cup final, send Chelsea to Qatar. I want a freaking match. Let's settle this bullshit right now. Flamengo, Chelsea, Qatar, the world champion versus Intercontinental champion. Title for title. Winner takes all. Screw it. Put it on the line. Book it, Vince. Book it, Jack Tunney. I don't care. If Flamengo beats PSG, I want it booked. Chelsea versus Flamengo. Impromptu match. Title for title. Winner takes all. Book it, Jack Tunney. Book it, Adam Pearce. Book it, Aldis. Anybody. Book it. Hell, Eric Bischoff. Book that shit. Do it. Let's not argue about it. Let's just put it on the field. Let's not argue about it. No, they were lucky, but there's something called Intercontinental Cup mini Club World Cup versus the actual big Club World Cup. Intercontinental champions are the yearly world champions. The world champion is the 4-year world champion. Question being, if the world champion got beat on the way to becoming world champion against the same team in the final that the team who won the Intercontinental Cup is in the final against, should you have a title for title winner take all match? Lineal, maybe? This is a weird situation, you know? 5 minutes of stoppage time. This is a weird situation. If Flamengo wins the Intercontinental Cup, they beat PSG to do it. Chelsea won the Club World Cup by beating PSG in the final. But they lost to Flamengo on the way, which, ironically enough, gave them the easy bracket for them to get to that final, plus a couple of upsets. But, you know, in theory, there should be a title for title match if Flamengo were to win this tournament. I think that doesn't hurt anybody. I know they wouldn't do it because that would just make the Club World Cup look trash, but you could still call it a bragging rights match. Champion versus champion. Well, Robert Sanchez was actually good that day, too. The only day that Robert Sanchez was good in his career was the Club World Cup final. And Cole Palmer was amazing. But we still won, though. Who has the world champions patch for 3.5 more years? Oh, yeah, Chelsea. I don't care if that's playing forward. Cruz Azul, here's a chance. They lose the ball. POV saved. 2 minutes of 3 to go. 2 minutes through 5. 3 to go. Playing forward. Saudi beat Messi. They're world champions too. Again, the reason why I'm talking about Chelsea versus Flamengo is because they both beat PSG in a cup final, Intercontinental World Cup final, to be the champion of the world of their time frame. Of the Continental Champions of 2025. That's what the best of all the Continental Champions plus the World Cup champion versus the World Cup champion, where that best of all Continental Champions, before they won the Libertadores as well, beat Chelsea before they won the Club World Cup. Saved. And the only reason Chelsea was in the tournament was because of something called the 2021 Champions League header. What the? Luis Arujo plays it backwards. 3 minutes through past halfway through stoppage time. $93 minutes. Punched away. Bonk. 94th minute. Header. 30 seconds to go. Ten seconds. Playing forward. Oh, foul. Advantage played. Free kick. Last kick of the game, most likely. POV's been terrible this game. Yeah. Sort of, yellow card for Dillon Cruz. Header. 96 minutes save. And it's full time. Flamengo will move on to play Pyramids. 1-2, 1-2 esta noche. Cruz Azul are eliminated. They got eliminated from Liga on Sunday. They've been eliminated from the Intercontinental Cup today. Flamengo versus Pyramids on Saturday. The winner plays PSG next Wednesday. The Derby of the Americas. CONMEBOL wins the second edition. It's 1-1. You mean Orioles? You mean the Orioles? There's no way he... Is it just me or does Christmas not feel like Christmas this year? It does not feel like Christmas. We already talked about this. We already talked about this earlier. But 13th and 17th. So Saturday, we have with that being said, yeah, it doesn't feel like Christmas this year at all. Oh, it is Orioles. Okay, I was like. With that being said, we're done. Flamengo moves on to play Pyramids. No CONCACAF finalist in this tournament this year. With that being said, we will have the review up within the hour of this game. We'll have the review up within the hour for this game. We'll be back on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 7:55 Central, for Tigres versus Toluca, the first leg of that final, the Liga MX final. We'll see how that game goes tomorrow. And we'll be live for it and review it. Friday, we're off. Saturday, we'll be here for the Challenger Cup, and that's it because the Raptors did not make the NBA Cup semifinal. Flamengo versus Pyramids. And then we'll be live for the Sunday. We'll be live for the Patriots-Bills game. I told you just the final of the Arab Cup. I mean, it started off being about Jesus. Then it got turned into a capitalistic holiday. But you can still celebrate it for the meaning that it truly has. Which I do. I mean, yeah, there's still presents and all that, but I do celebrate the true meaning of the holiday. So it depends on who you are. I don't forget the reason for the season. Baby Jesus born. Baby Jesus born. As Don Cherry once said. I don't remember the whole line, but baby Jesus born. Don't forget the reason for the season. I gotta find that clip. Don Cherry talking about Christmas. Baby Jesus born. But either way. That's the story. Either way. With that being said, I'll see you later. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See ya.